Hi everyone, it's Pink Giraffe, and I'm back with TemTem, a PvP match in the Club Dojo Wars, only goes versus TemTeam, and I'm playing against Patterknife. Now, just a small disclaimer, this is a voiceover, so after I've recorded the video, and I want to remind you before I start to subscribe to my channel and give me a like, leave a comment, all these things do help out, so thank you very much. Now, let's focus on the game! So Patterknife bans my Lawali and I ban the Tyrannek. I think Tyrannek is a very great talisman user, a great Doom extinction user, and I didn't know how to deal with it, so I banned it. I think Lawali, is a very great counter to Roller, so I see why they banned my Lawali and picked Roller first. So once I see Roller, I choose Nagais right here. Like you can see me hovering. I'm like, yeah, Nagais, right? But if you look at their team, the best two counters to Nagais would be Volgon and Gaialis, Volgon especially for turn 1. So I just pick my only Earth. Well, not my only Earth, but my... I could have gone with Madrid, but Madrid is weak to Roller, so I just went with Koran because that is the safer Earth option to try and prevent Volgon. Because if they went with Volgon, I would just, try to stoneball it and we go from there. And they pick Kino, so I think that's a very safe pick for us. We'll see how it plays out soon. Now let's skip forward a bit. They continue the pick, big ban, right? So I've banned their Gaialis, they ban my Madrid, and then they pick Talcan. To Talcan I counter with Mimit and Ragnet, they pick Moonflank and Volgon, and I finish off with the pink Luma Sacro. And here we can see the start, right? We see Kino and Roller versus Nagais and Koren. And we see the proc of marbles from Kino, so we take a bit of stamina and HP reduction, and you see Marie Curie has heavy armor, so I'm going to be a bit more bulky. Now the first thing I do always is assess the team, right? You go to the battle log, you check. I'm like, okay, Nagais is my strong suit. I need it for Roller, for Telkan, for move flank. So I need to buff it up with Madness buff. On the other hand, Koran is my kind of only anti-Volgon option here. And I think Patterknife realizes that because you can see here Patterknife uses Beta Burst on the Koran, followed up with a Drill Impact. This takes Koran below 50%, and I try to stoneball it, but with Benefactor it does heal back up. I didn't have many other turn 1 options on Koran except to swap it out, but I didn't want to do that yet. So for the next turn, I'm sure that the Roller will be swapped out, because why would you keep Roller in front of a buffed Nagais, right? So I aim a Beta Burst into the Kino and use a Stonewall to buff my Nagais. In fact, we see my prediction coming through with Roller being swapped out. Now, I wasn't expecting Tolkien, to be honest, and it had both Heater as the trait and the Gare Mom's Lunch. So both my temps are burnt, so the Beta Burst will deal less damage, and I'm also using much more stamina because of the exhaustion. However, you can see Kino also used a lot of stamina for the Beta Burst, and Stonewall is much more stamina efficient, so I do get a Stonewall off onto my Nagais. It does heal up with the Nutrition Bar, kind of cancels out the burn damage, so it stays relatively healthy. Now as you can see, I'm considering switching out. As much as I would love to use Nagai's Fury and water damage to Talcan, that would give me too much overexertion damage from using too much stamina. So I decide to stay, and with Koran I know it's slow. The only thing I really wanted to do is use Stoneball on Volgon. However, Stoneball is one prio, so it will be dying to any of their tabs before it can attack. So I know Koran is dead, so I'm just click Willpower Drain and just swap out Nagais. Now, to kind of my surprise, Tolkien does switch out into Volgon, which is not something I was expecting, right? And I do swap out Nagais into Ragnit, so you know, we have no two electrics in the field. That's just a comment, there's nothing special about it. And I use Willpower Drain on Volgon, which I think if I used it on Kinu here, it would have taken much more damage from the overexert. Because here you can see it took a little, but if I stole its stamina, it would have dealt so much more damage. And the Willpower Drain on Volgon was barely useful. So now when I'm picking who to pick, Nagais is out of the option, you know, it's not viable, it's 4 times weak. So it's either Mimic, which would become Ragnitz, which wouldn't be very useful here, wouldn't do too much damage, or we can go for Sako, and I just choose Sako here. So the breed time here was a bit long, but they do take out Kino for move flank, which move flank and neutral, always a very safe choice. You can see it has Harm Ward, and they go for the Willpower Drain on Sako, you know, to reduce its stamina, which is effective, I'd say. But I go for Electro Punch on the move flank and the Life Sap on the Sako, you know, help to keep it alive. Because if I look at their team, I don't think they can kill my Sako efficiently unless they use Falcon. And Sako, I know, has the Narcoleptic hit, which is a mental technique, so it's effective into Roller, it's effective into move flank, which is originally my plan. However, I decided to switch it out just a bit. You see, I was thinking a bit too hard here, so let me skip. I wasn't sure I wanted to move flank that yet with the Narco hit, so instead I decided to focus Volgon with Sako, which they do switch for Korin, right? So they base jump, well sorry, they move flank Gorings my Regnet, I use the Piezoelectric Blow on it, dealing some damage, and the Narco hit ends up hitting Kinu, which now reduces its health. Along with the Marble proc from my Regnet, it does, you know, it's very low in stamina, very low in health, and I think that was very pleasant for me, because I don't have great ways to kill Kinu efficiently either, so having it chip down is definitely useful. Now, you can see Sako is asleep, so, you know, the best thing I can do is swap it out. I don't want my Ragnit to take more neutral damage. I think I need it to protect my Nagais a bit, so I decide to switch into Nagais and Mimic. Obviously, if move flank hits Nagais with a neutral, it's not going to be effective, and I have not nutrition bar, so it would heal me. Now, the round was a bit surprising here, because they swapped Falcon out, and like, oh, that's not what I was expecting, right? We see the Mum's Launch proc, the Marbles proc, and I'm like, oh no, a double swap? They're gonna pit Volgon, right? They saw right through me. But it ends up being a roller here, which I'm like, oh, I have double Nagais, this is like the perfect swap in for me. So I think this was like one of my luckiest rounds. It's not a hard read, it's not a prediction, it was just pure luck. And we get a very beautiful pink Nagais with Mimic, right? So I think here it's a very safe double Nagais Fury, right? So if they swap in Volgon, it will take 2 Furies, they don't want that. I don't see them, you know, swapping anything in particular that will keep them safe, so just a double Fury, no need to think too much about it. The round starts by them taking Ruler out, they still want to keep Ruler alive, and they take out move flank instead. And they start with a Tornado on my Mimic. Obviously, my Nagais is buffed up specially, so you know, I see why they targeted that instead of my Nagais. But we see a very pink Nagais Fury, and it just kills Tolkien, it kills move flank. So there's just nothing they can do here. And my Mimic's Nagais Fury just goes nowhere because there's nothing to hit. They decide to take out Kinu and Volgon. Obviously Volgon doing 4x damage into Nagais is a very good pick. Now here I wasn't sure if it would target my guys, if it would target the Mehmet. Obviously my guys that have +3 special, +3 defense and +4 special defense. Always check the battle log, you kind of remind yourself of the state of the match, what was your win condition, etc. And like if I look at this, I'm like, okay, my sack was very safe. It can handle ruler, right? So if there's anything we need to kill, it's Kino. And if they, kill both of my Nagaises, my sack will be able to handle ruler. So I decided to just stay in with both of my Nagaises. And they start with the DC beam, which is a prio, right? But it does not kill my Mehmet. So I just attack both an energy manipulation and a beta burst on Kinu. Now, why I chose a beta and energy manipulation is to kind of see how speedy my Negaises are versus the Volgon. And the C-Beam went first, so I know now that Volgon is faster, so whatever, right? I did luckily get the proc of the Diabolo onto my Negais, so my stamina is restored in half now, and my HP is back full. So again, it's a very good position. The Volgon finishes off my Mimit. I wasn't surprised by that. And I just go with a Naga Fury here, and the ruler just dies. The Volgon goes down to 36%. It's a very safe game from here. I can be sure that I won. So I just take out Sako here, and I get ready for the last turn of the match, which will be a beta burst into Volgon, into a front whip just in case it's side. The DC beam doesn't do that much, so we just finish it off with the beta burst, and that's it. Thank you for watching this match, and I hope you've enjoyed my commentary. Bye bye.